Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel if you've joined before, or welcome if you're joining for the first time. My name is Teorai, or T for short, or you can call me Teo, whichever you're comfortable with, and I'm the founder of Fitnesstoatee. Make sure you check out the links below this video so you can learn more about my work. Today I'm talking about this, I don't know what to call it sometimes because I've watched it cause distress to so many people on their health and fitness journeys. But I'm here to encourage you today that you do not have to rely on the weigh scale to gauge how well your health and fitness journey is going. I think one of the biggest things that I see is how much emotional and mental distress the weigh scale causes to people. It can even throw you off your fitness journey and stop you from continuing. But I'm here to encourage you today and give you some really practical reasons why the weigh scale is not your bestie, and also some ways that you can monitor your progress, enjoy your fitness journey, and sustain it as a lifestyle. So I'm 42 years old now, but I know that this, if I relied on it, it would have thrown me off a long time ago, and I wouldn't have been able to sustain my fitness journey as much. Of course, it's not just about the weigh scale, but this is something that you might overlook or think is really small. But I see people jumping onto the scale and they tell me of how they jump onto the scale every single day. It might be less, but some people jump onto the scale maybe 3, 4, 5 times a week. And the number on that scale can even affect their mood for the day. It can affect so many things. So here goes. Here are the reasons why you should not be making this your bestie. So there's several reasons why you should not be relying on the scale. So I'm just going to pick my top ones. I think the top one would definitely be how much emotional and mental distress it causes. It can even go to the extent of throwing someone completely off their fitness journey. It can lead to overeating, binge eating. It can lead to serious things like going more into constant anxiety about your body. It can even go into depression as well. So it's not something to be looked at lightly. And I think that it's always wise, if you've got children as well, to just encourage them that the scale is not the be all and end all. And they start to understand that from a really young age as well. So that will help for our future generations. So going into the next reason, the scale doesn't give you an accurate measure of what is going on in your body in terms of your health and fitness journey. I'm not saying that you should never step on the scale. Yes, it is a good measure, but it should be used in conjunction with a whole range of other things. And for my personal fitness journey, I definitely base the other things, I weigh them more heavily, no pun intended, than using the scale. So the scale does not give you an indication of how much muscle mass you've got. It doesn't tell you how much visceral fat you've got, for example, and visceral fat is fat around the organs. It also does not measure how much water you might have. For example, you might be holding water weight at different times of the month. For ladies, when you're coming closer to your period, you might be very bloated. So it doesn't look at those things. It doesn't look at things like hormones as well and what's going on inside your body, the chemical reactions that are happening. So it's a really small measure of the progress that you are making. Now, if you're doing resistance-based training or exercises where you're using weight, so it might be your body weight, so doing things like push-ups, for example, or you might be using dumbbells, kettlebells, Bosu balls, Swiss balls, all different types of equipment to do your exercises. When you are doing that type of training, you're going to be building muscle. And when you jump on the scale will tell you, you're heavier, because muscle is heavier than fat. Do not stop doing your resistance-based training because muscle is a good thing. For example, have you ever seen two people who are the same weight, but one looks slimmer or thinner, and then the other one looks bigger. Oftentimes, that is because the one who looks slimmer is doing resistance-based training, even though they're the same weight. So muscle actually helps to shape your body in the way that you want. Muscle is good because it gives you strength. It also gives you that stamina, that endurance, and muscle is great for supporting our joints and bones as we grow older as well. So don't shy away from doing resistance-based training. And ladies, it helps as well in terms of preventing or reducing things like osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is a condition that happens where your bones become weak and brittle. That's a very simple definition without me going too much into it. If you want me to talk more about osteoporosis in another video, please do drop a comment under this video and I will do that for you. Remember as well that as you continue with your resistance-based training, you're going to see the scale going down. So it just takes time. But do not get obsessed about jumping on that scale. Continue on your health and fitness journey. Continue doing your exercises and eating well. And then, every 4 weeks or so, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 3 months like me, jump on the scale. But you will be seeing the results in the mirror, in your clothes, in how you feel. Comment, like this video as well. Let me know what's your favorite bit or the tip that you found most useful. And also think about how much salt or sodium you're taking in as well. Because when you have more salt intake, you have more fluid or water retention in the body, which can mean that you can have a lot of bloating happening as well. And the weigh scale is not able to measure that. So a good thing to always do is to eat well, to eat lots of vegetables, plenty of water, just consistently follow a clean eating way, a clean way of eating in terms of your nutrition, so that over time you will get better results that you will sustain. Also realize that sodium or salt can be found not only in actual salt, but in processed foods that we take as well. So try and reduce processed foods as much as you can, so things in packets and tins, and focus on having fresher foods. So in terms of monitoring your progress, some of the things that are more reliable and enjoyable, sustainable, are things like taking progress photos. So you can take a front, a side, and a back photo wearing the same clothing, and then 4 weeks later take the same photo, or take it after 6 weeks or 8 weeks even, and then compare. And there are really simple apps out there that you can use, like InShot, that will help you to compare your before and after pictures. Other ways as well, if you don't want to take photos, are seeing how your clothes fit. So over time, as you're sustaining your health and fitness journey and being consistent, you'll start to notice that your clothes are fitting differently. Also, you can look at yourself in the mirror, see how you're going. And it's usually really hard for you to see in the beginning how you're doing. But you start to notice people around you saying, wow, you've lost weight. Wow, you look different. And then after a time, you will start to see the changes as well. You just have to be really patient and consistent. I cannot stress enough. Other ways that you can measure your progress as well is looking at how much energy you've got. That is something that comes pretty early on. You'll start to have better sleep as well, and you'll just start to feel good. A lot of people as well who go through things like anxiety and depression mention that when they start using health and fitness as something to help relieve those symptoms, it starts to really help them. And for myself, I have been through anxiety and depression in the past, and I did use my nutrition and my exercise to help me. I think it's something that's always carried me through really difficult moments in my life. My health and fitness has been something which has really helped to push me through really difficult and challenging moments. One thing that you can use to measure your progress is the tape measure. I absolutely love the tape measure. It's not my be all and end all. I generally go by how I feel and how my clothes fit, my energy levels, if my sleep is good as well. But with the tape measure, it's something practical that you can use that is more accurate than the scale. Now, with the tape measure, if you're on a weight loss journey, a good loss or a good drop is 1 centimeter per week. And I know that doesn't sound like much, but it's something that will last. And what you can do with your tape measure is just measure yourself every 4 to 6 weeks or every 8 weeks. Do not go into obsession mode with this, as you should not with the scale. So just a general overview of how you would measure yourself. You would take the middle point between the elbow and the shoulder, and you would go around each arm, and make sure that you go around each arm, because sometimes you'll have one arm that's bigger than the other. One arm might be weaker, one arm might be stronger, so there might be a bit of a difference. And then with your legs, you would measure the middle point between the knee and the hip. And then you would also go around the chest area, so the middle of the chest, right around the middle of the back. So you would measure that area. And when you're losing weight around that area, that is really important because the back is a really large muscle group. So if you're losing weight around that back and chest area, you're onto a winner. And remember, it's just a little bit each week, so do not obsess. I repeat. And then you can also do your waist. So you can go upper waist. So that's the area just around the belly button, at the top of the belly button, above the belly button, go around that area. And then you can do the lower belly, which is the biggest bit. So you'd go around the middle point of the biggest part of your tummy, around your belly. That's the lower waist. And then you would also go around the hips. You would go around the widest part there. And that's the widest part of the hips, the middle point, and the glutes. And you would measure that part, and you can you can do it yourself. It's really easy to do yourself as long as you know what points you're looking for. And then, or you could ask a partner to help you. Easy. So a more enjoyable way that you can monitor your progress is through, for example, your movement. So for myself, I'm not that great at cardio as compared to, let's say, lifting weights or resistance-based training. But I hate it when I start to run out of breath sooner than I usually would, and I can tell, oh my gosh, I need to work on my cardio fitness. So what I usually do is I add more time on the cross trainer at the gym, which is my favorite machine, by the way. And I also walk to as many places as I can to add more cardio. Once I start to see that I'm running out of breath later than I usually would, then I know, yep, I'm on the right track. And that makes me feel good. So even for yourself, you can encourage yourself by adding more time to your walks or your runs. You can add more steps that you walk each day. You can also do things like see how much weight you can lift. So increase your weight gradually over the weeks. And those are more encouraging and sustainable ways of tracking your health and fitness journey. It feels good to feel stronger and fitter. What? So now we can just all throw our weight scales away, right? Nah, don't do that. But seriously, sometimes to my clients, I'm like, just throw that thing away because of the grief that it causes. I really hope, though, that this video encourages you to have a better relationship with your weight scale, whether you have one now or you're going to get one in the future. Remember, it's just a machine, so it's definitely not the be-all and end-all. I'd love to know what resonated with you in this video, so drop a comment below. Remember to like the video, share it with others, and subscribe to my channel. You can also contact me by emailing me or contacting me on any of my platforms. I've put all the links below this video. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.